African American people are currently and have historically been mistreated and
But I wanted to finish telling the story about what happened over the holidays when I was in the ER. So I was getting horrible treatment at that place. I mean, nurses were snapping on me. The first black nurse I spoke with was a black woman, and she was absolutely disgusting to me. It was crazy. And then even in my notes, they wrote down that, they wrote everything that I would say or that they were accusing me of saying in like this like ghetto vernacular or way, so that it was like, y'all, this, that, and the third and all this other stuff, real country shit. And it's like, okay, so like, are y'all trying to be funny? Like really? And I mean, I have how many videos up here, on this, through this platform. We all know how I speak. So it's just really funny. But I ended up hating the service at St. Louis Hospital so bad that I went to St. Mary's, where I was born, in Clayton. And it was a horrible experience. I was there for hours and hours. It was substantially a shorter amount of time than I was at the, during my first ER visit. But, well, not substantially. It was just a few hours shorter than that one. But it's only because I left. Because I felt unsafe in the environment. So right before I ended up leaving, like 4 hours into me being there, almost 5, they asked for a second set of vitals. And they were asking everyone for this because the waits were so long that they needed people to do vitals more than once. So I tried to get up. A patient next to me this black woman I was speaking with had to help me up because, I was like, the shit was so bad that my muscles were literally giving out as I was sitting there. So like, then when I get up, I had a Charlie horse in my like hip love handle area, and it had me like contorted and all kinds of shit. I was like, and then it went away right before it really hit. I slowly made my way up to the place to go get my vitals or get my vitals taken or whatever, or registered. And this black nurse who had done my vitals at first, she was about to do them. But then as I was sitting down, I had an attack and I started convulsing all over the place. It was bad. I mean, it was horrible. It was in the same area that, I had just felt it in, just a few minutes prior. And it was full on this time. Like, it felt like a hernia in my lower abdomen on the left-hand side. So I ended up like convulsing, like I'm just like jumping up and down from the seat because she keeps trying to tell me to sit down. And I'm like trying to explain to her, ma'am, I can't control this. But I can't even explain that because I'm in so much pain. And this white nurse comes out of nowhere, and she's shorter than me substantially. She's a white girl, a white woman who looks like a white girl. And she comes in there swinging her ponytail from here to there, basically acting like she's running the shit and like I'm not going through anything. And she keeps asking me for my hand with this fake nice ass wannabe, white ass attitude. You know how they be saying, hello, yeah. So she's like, can I get your hand? Yeah, I need your hand and your finger. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to explain to her while I'm in pain, excruciating pain. I need a minute. You know what I'm saying? This woman was not having it. So this is in response to the conversation of people like saying that Black people do not experience the same pain and white people actually feeling like that. Babe, let me tell you something. It's so true. I cannot tell you how helpless I felt in this moment because I was in pain and I could do nothing. I had to let my body, go through this until it got back to until it got to the point where it stopped. So I just had to deal with it and let it, subside. And the whole time I have to sit here. Sorry, y'all, I'm losing my voice right now. I have to sit here and I have to explain, I have to narrate my pain to this charge nurse. She's the charge nurse. She threw that in my face while she was doing what she was doing. And I was responding to her like, ma'am, like, what's going on? You're like badgering me. You're arguing with me about the pain that I'm literally going through right now. And I can't explain it the way that I was doing it in that moment because I was literally in pain. So like, I'm like all over the place and like gyrating and it was crazy. And I mean, I'm clearly in pain. I'm writhing, literally writhing in pain. And this woman acted like it was nothing, like it was a bee sting. And she kept saying, and I kept telling her, ma'am, why do you keep asking me to do this? And I keep telling you I need a minute. I'm in pain. And she's like, I just need a finger. I just need your hand. Making it seem like I'm the one who's the problem. Do you all know how frustrating this situation was? Frustrating is not the word for it. I was so vulnerable. I was so helpless. I was so confused. I was perturbed. I was flummoxed. I mean, there are too many words to put into the description of how I felt in that moment. Because this woman was literally, I'm in absolute pain. And this woman I'm writhing in pain. And this woman is literally over here acting like I'm not going through anything. Like I was like literally making it up. She looked at me like I was some crazy bitch. And I'm a whole fucking university student in college, at university, in my second year that I'm starting, you know what I'm saying? In a few days. Studying to be an attorney. Like, are you serious? What are you talking about? Here on the holidays, I'm not working right now, so I'm not trying to get off of my job. It's winter break, so I'm not trying to get out of school. I'm literally here because I am literally having an emergency in the emergency room. I'm having an emergency in the emergency room, and this is what I have to contend with. Do you know how much I had to control what I was saying and what I was doing? They even tried to accuse me of walking up on her. The one black security guard, female security guard, and the black nurse who initially caught me up there, both told me to not walk up on her when I got back up to explain to her, ma'am, this is unacceptable. But as soon as you put your foot down as a black person, it's a problem. You're a threat. I was so appalled. They still haven't called me back about my complaints. I haven't even made the complaints yet. I made that complaint. But I had to get back and tell this particular story because it just really it was despicable. It was disgusting. I cannot describe to you how disgusted I am with St. Mary's after what I experienced that night. But I just had to say this because it's a real thing, and it really upsets me that doctors get on here like this dude, and they sit up here, Dr. J. Mack, whatever the fuck his name is, and they get up here and they antagonize the black community on a regular basis, trying to rehash trauma and pain that we go through on a regular basis. This is our lives. We live this shit. We have to go to people who look like you and don't give a fuck about us when they running around here looking like they came out of Whoville. Dairy Queen. I'm not understanding. Like, you want to sit up here and facetiously antagonize black people for clout? You're not making enough as a doctor?